Mondays with the Mako. We are back at it. Thank you guys so much for hanging. As always, thrilled to bring you Jackie today, but really interesting feedback from last week in Adrian. I threw you guys a little bit of a curveball with some work stuff. You guys asked a little bit about some insight there, and I gave you some, and it kind of rattled the cage a little bit, and I like that. So be prepared for more of that depth, bringing Adrian probably back on for more of his work, and it's tremendous what he's doing for us and then for the community and then for really himself as he's learning more and diving into that knowledge. Just awesome. So guys, today I've got Jackie with me. She's a dear friend and somebody that's given me a ton through marketing, exposure, knowledge, branding, and being fun. She's a fun person to hang out with, and always enjoy time with Jackie. Jackie, how are you? Thank you for spending your Mondays with the Mako.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and to talk to you, to see you, because I always love seeing you as well.
Thank you. That was so sweet. You're always sweet. Tell me a little bit about your company real quick and what you're doing up in Canada.
Besides freezing? Yeah. Well, what I do is I have a company called Pure Potentials, and I do some marketing for events for different speakers, authors, and coaches, or I do training on how they can get, like you said, more exposure. So it's pretty fun. I really love it. There's a lot of great people that I meet, a lot of great events that I attend. So, yeah.
What I really like about you is you get stuff done. I tend to gravitate to people like that get stuff done. And what I want to talk about with you is how you get stuff done, what you've been up to recently, but how you keep your fitness cadence going through those busy times, and how you got work going, but you also have yourself in the wellness and the health piece. Fond of that. So let's talk a little bit about what you've been up to with the extreme exposure and setting up this course.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I set up a course. It's a video course online. There's lots of moving pieces and parts to it. So it was actually quite an intense project for me, and I worked a ton of hours on it. Lots of videos. I'm really actually quite proud of what I've put out there. I'm getting great feedback. People are going through the course and they're learning how to basically get exposure for themselves and for their company. And we talk a lot about things like using your personality, about things like having the right tools, about having the right systems in place so that they can get out there to have their message in a big way for people, so that they can get that out there as well. So the course is going really well. It took me, must have been it was hundreds of hours for sure. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of putting this thing together, right from writing the scripts and writing the content to filming it, to going through the edits, to organizing the material, to talking to the Membarium guys, the Dialoger guys, putting my Infusionsoft into place, getting this all set up so that it looked really good. So it was a ton of work. And to kind of circle back to your other question about getting that done but keeping the fitness routine, Jeremiah, one of the most important things that I would do before any filming or any of the creative process is making sure that I got a workout in. Because if I didn't do that, then I was for sure not going to have the same kind of energy level, the same kind of creativity going for me. So it's really funny because I love exercise and I love health and wellness. But if I don't do that, it's actually a detriment to getting things done for me. Do you know what I mean?
Love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's drill down on a couple of things you said there, though. You said hundreds of hours.
Oh,
so
yeah.
About how you maybe goal set to completion there, or what you did to get that work done. Just go back a little bit.
Sure. Well, the first thing I really think that if people want to get stuff done, they have to be passionate about what they're doing. And if they're not passionate, they don't have that excitement to get out of bed, to get going and to get working on their projects, they may want to revisit what they're doing, right? Because sometimes it can be, maybe it isn't even a passion thing, but it can be an overwhelm problem, right? So it is important to have start with that foundational point of being really passionate about what you're doing. And I love what I do, and I love the people that I work with. Sorry. Ring there.
You're busy.
Yeah. So another thing that's really important is making sure that you have good people to help support you. And so I talked a lot about, or I kind of mentioned briefly about, the Dialoger guys, the Membarium, people at Infusionsoft. One of the biggest resources for me is actually the Infusionsoft Certified Partner Community. I've had friends who share tips, mastermind, things like that. I also hire out people out of that community myself, and I think they're amazing just to have the right people support you and not try to do absolutely everything yourself, right? So that's a huge piece for me. And then having a plan. So just making sure that you take everything that's ruminating around in your head, and I do what's called a mind dump, because putting together something that has a lot of moving pieces, I throw it all out there, I get it all on Post-it notes, I organize it, and then you can use the tools like Trello or Google Drives or Google Sheets or whatever, things like that. You can put that into place, but once you have it out of your head, so that's kind of my method for that madness.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You said a couple of things there I want to come back to. So you said delegate, which I really like.
Yeah.
And then you said community, and I love that community, and you know that. So I really get the synergy there, and it's so smart to lean on it, right? And good people around you. I'm working on that this year. I'm really focusing there. So I like that. Where are your goals with this, though? Did you whiteboard them out? Did you stick them out in front of you? How do you have them set up? So with that goal to completion again, I
have a lot of whiteboards going on, but first I start with sticky notes. And so I would just write anything that's bugging me. So, I got to make a video. I got to write content for you. I got to do Facebook ads. I got to, do this little piece or call this person in. They're not all projects, but they're not all tasks either. So the first thing I do is I just take everything that I can think of that's bugging me and I put it out there on these sticky notes. And then what I do is I start to line them up. I'm a tangible person, Jeremiah, so maybe this sounds kind of old school for people, but I find it that I'm creative if I have a pen and a paper, or if I'm touching things. So I need to get that going for me. A lot of other people might just do it electronically, but for me it's like, the concept's the same. Get the stuff out of your head, either on a whiteboard, on paper, on sticky notes, on your computer, get it out of there, and then look, what is a project? Here, this task belongs under this heading. What's a task? And then once you have that, you can start to prioritize these things and to find out what's important and what you need to do first, right? Outstanding.
Yeah. Are you using any systems? Again, you mentioned a few there, like Google, the Google product line. Talk about that real quick.
Google Sheets, yeah. It's funny because I was actually, being creative is more my skill versus being more organized. So having good people around, people in the community, in the Infusionsoft community particularly, they give me all these great tips and they said, here's Google Drives or Google Sheets for you, Jackie, because you are that kind of person who just wants to dump it out and see it kind of there. You get into some of the other softwares like Trello. They're really easy to use, but if you're not the kind of person who wants to learn another software, but you just want to get organized on your projects, just using a sheet is probably a really good idea for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm a little bit more old school in that style, still today. And, I've got a few stickies going today for our call. And working out today while I was waiting for you. Leg day, so I'm not super excited about it, but it's going to be a good session today. Tell me about what you're doing with your workouts and your sessions. I know some yoga. I know you're doing some running. I know you're doing some weight training as well. Tell me a little bit about your cadence there, your fitness cadence.
Sure. Yeah, you know what? So I love being outside. So if I'm able to run through a ravine, that's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite workout because I do these hills. There's all these nice hills back there, so you can do lots of interval training, and it's really good. That's one of my favorite things to do. Plus, if you're outside, you're getting the fresh air, you're getting your creativity going. I love hot yoga. I think that's just such a good thing to do. So I really do try to do hot yoga, 3 times a week minimum. And I find it does a lot for me, not just physically, but it's also strength training, it's flexibility, but it's also very mental for me. Just that activity of trying to focus in directly on what you're doing at the exact time that you're doing it, really, really important. If I'm having a rush, like there's a day and I can't seem to find I'm not able to get outside or go to a class, I have a treadmill and some free weights. And I make sure that I get 30 minutes on there. You can always find 30 minutes, always, just to go and do something, right? And if you start skipping these things, if you start to not stay with your cadence, stay with your commitment to make sure that you're exercising, you can easily slip away. So the treadmill for me is a really good kind of blend in there as well. If that makes sense. Yeah. Sorry?
I was just going to ask you what happens when we miss or when we slip away.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It really does become a part of you. People say that all the time. If you exercise, you'll get into a habit. But you can miss a day. Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you don't want to do it. But it's that mental game. it's really about, okay, so what does exercise mean? It's not just getting on a treadmill or for me to be in shape. This is my entire life. If I want to have a successful business, if I want to have, all of the things that I want to accomplish in my life, this is a tool for me. This is actually a tool that I have to do so that I can be more successful in other areas. Because we aren't in these little compartments. We are a whole human being, right? So they don't seem separate to me. A run on the treadmill seems like a part of my routine for getting my stuff done. You know what I mean?
No, I sure do, and it's really good. I mean, when I look back to the days that I might skip, and they're not many, or they're not as frequent as they used to be, but you look at that day that you skip and the day that you hit, and the comparison is amazing. Tell me about your day when you run and the day that you don't run. What does it feel like? I liked how you spoke about your run, and that was cool. I'd like to revisit that with you right now. Tell me about when you run, what your day looks like, and when you don't.
Okay. I'm not an overly, because I like creativity and I like to kind of go with the flow too. I'm not somebody who needs to go at 8 a.m. and that's my exact routine. And so some days I might go, I'm going to go in the morning, or if it's colder outside, I might wait till the afternoon, or if I've got a lot of phone calls coming in, but I always make that time. And I find it somewhere in my day, and I know that it's on the list of things that I have to do, right? So if it's, and there's been days, Jeremiah, where I have been slaughtered, phone calls and things going on, and it's like 5 o'clock comes and I'm going, well, on my list it says I have to work out, I have to go for that run, right? And if I can accomplish this last thing and I have my little dopamine check, I know that I can do it, right? If for some reason that doesn't happen, I actually feel that it affects the next day even more, right? So it's more about, it sort of catches you. Because I had that to look forward to. If I don't do it the next day, I go, oh, I didn't do that, and I'm starting my day like this. It's like, oh, I'm behind, I didn't get this done, right? So it does have a mental aspect and also a physical too. You don't have that energy.
That's so well said. Like you're moving the energy, you're keeping it moving daily versus it getting slowed down.
Yeah.
So you're having to restart it. That's more of the challenge, I think. And when you really let it go, keep it going. Jeez. Yeah. What do you lean on things or people for support? Like, do you motivational quotes? Do you attend a forum or a membership, a fitness type community or anything, or get things done type perspective community? Tell me a little bit on that.
Yeah, I think, because I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are just really going for it. You go to things like PartnerCon and you see all these great entrepreneurs and you make all these connections. And one of the things that is really important is to stay connected. Because if you're talking to somebody and they're very excited about their goals, that has an effect on you, right? So if I'm talking to you, Jeremiah, and you're all excited about your workouts and your speaking business and all the things that you're going to be doing, that has an effect on me. So if I don't make sure that I take time to connect with you, people like you, then yeah, you can definitely go into a place where you're not as motivated. As far as specific communities go, I love all things yoga. So I would join things like that, yoga journal. I read a lot of yoga journal. I read Success Magazine. I'm like, everybody else, we watch the Brenda Burchards and all of that stuff, right? I love that stuff, but for me, even more than just joining passively some community or even, I do like that, and I read books. It's about being around inspired people. Maybe they haven't gotten everything they want in their entire lives, but they're inspired and they're moving forward every single day. So that's important to me.
It's really good. It's what works, Jackie. I sometimes have to go at it alone. And having a workout partner or a crew behind you is really good. I mean, do you go to hot yoga with a team, or you go by yourself, or is there a bit of a clan or a tribe behind that for you?
I do both. It's not hard to get myself there because I'm cold all the time. So hot yoga is great for a Canadian. But I like to go with my mom and my brother and my sister. They love hot yoga too. So we go alone and together. It's always more fun when you go together for sure, because we'll do dinner beforehand and hang out for a bit in yoga.
Well, let me ask you this last question, then I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get my glasses on here, guys, for that one. You know what time it is.
Oh.
All right, so goals. I know you've got some good goals in place for this year. Give me a fitness goal of yours that you're feeling comfortable sharing and how you're going to accomplish it.
Okay, well, just to let you know, over the last, year and a half, I lost 45 pounds. I don't know if you know that, but I lost a good amount of weight. I had my weight goal, and I'm actually 2 pounds lower than it. So that was a really great thing to accomplish last year. This year, I just want to maintain what I've got going with my food and my weight, but I also want to get cut arms. Lots of cut arms. I don't know if that's a goal, but I want to make sure that they're really strong. Maybe another goal would be to do more than 2 sit-ups, which I'm still proud that I can do. Like 10 by the end of the year. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're going to get those goals, Jackie. I know you are. Write those suckers down if you haven't already. Thank you for the tremendous insight today. I'm going to get this documented, put in the written content for our post, and I'm going to put your link to the course. I want people to get into that because it is really good.
Well,
I go just slightly in, and I really like what I've seen. I'll finish my review and critique for you, but gosh, lady, you're amazing. Stay warm up in Canada. Enjoy that hot yoga, and let's get those yoked arms going. You got it.
Thanks,
Jackie.
Bye.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later real soon. We'll see you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right, bye.